What's up, guys? Boogie back again. Man, we had to do it again. We had to go through a couple of videos with you guys. Man, dating is getting crazier and crazier by the day. This is a new video, a new channel I'm reacting to. So shout out to these guys from what's the title? uh Desirable Truth. All right. So as always, I'll be putting down all the links down below to the videos that I react to. And the first video, the reason I wanted to react to it, because so many times in this space we say how women, file for divorce 80-70% of the time, and women, and some people don't believe it, especially women. They're like, oh no, women don't do that, men divorce too. Yeah, men divorce, but when it comes to filing more, women file more of the divorce. And we're gonna have a female attorney feeling, saying she's a divorce attorney. She's gonna say divorce lawyer. She's gonna tell us that actually women do file for divorce lots of the time. And shout out to this guy, man. He asks very good questions, and shout out to him. So links down below for all the videos. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, hold on.
Work.
I'm a divorce lawyer.
As a divorce lawyer, would you say that divorces are initiated most by men or by women?
Women, 90% of the time.
Wow.
Why is that the case?
I think that they yap with their friends, and I think they get real frustrated where guys are like, I'll get to it tomorrow. And I think the women just get in their heads and they're like, all right, I'm done.
So it's the women who are sabotaging their own relationships?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it is that they're getting with their girlfriends, they're angry, they just get frustrated, and they have a lot of people in their ears. And I think they just want to, when they're done, they're done.
But surely, as a woman, you shouldn't tolerate any and everything in a relationship.
Definitely not at all, but I feel like things build up really easily with people, and they're talking about it more, where you're like pissed off and you get kind of over it quickly.
But how long have you been a divorce attorney?
Probably like since 2016 I've been practicing, and then 2017 officially barred.
So being that you've been in the field for 8+ years, do you think that marriage is outdated now?
I don't know about outdated, but it's a more acceptable to get divorced, right? Because like we're seeing it a lot more. It's not taboo.
Yeah, because you get paid. Women, this is for the women. They get paid when they divorce the man, especially if he makes good money. Especially if he gets good money, they get paid. There's an incentive. They are rewarded. But imagine they switch the laws and they say, hey, listen, if you're gonna leave a man, you're gonna have to be the one to pay him. Whether he's right, whether he cheated, it doesn't matter. If you divorce a man, you're gonna pay him. How many divorces would you see from women? They wouldn't file for divorce. Now, am I saying if a woman is in a bad relationship, abusive relationship, she should stay with a man? No, I'm just saying majority of the time, like she said, they have friends they talk to, and usually the friends are single. So they don't like the fact that this woman has she's married, she has a man, she has kids, she has a family. Sometimes they get jealous, and usually when she gets an issue, she runs to her single friends, but her single friends want her to come back to the streets. So day by day they start talking bad of the husband, because they never hear the side of the story of the husband. They only take her story and then they encourage her to get a divorce. And if she knows she's even going to get paid alimony, child support, whatever it is, take his house, take half the assets, she's going to be willing to file for divorce so easy.
So it's changed.
Do you think that sexless marriages can work?
No, and 100%. Every single time, I mostly work for men, so every single time they're in a consult with me, I'm always hearing, I haven't had sex in 10 years, I haven't had sex in 5 years, I haven't had sex in 15 years, and I'm like, here we go again, the sex talk.
So you're telling me men stay in sexless marriages for 10-15 years, but as soon as a woman doesn't like something, she files for divorce. She doesn't even wait 10-15 years. Now, because if a man can go for 15 years with no sex, I can guarantee you in those 15 years, she still expects him to pay the bills. She expects him to buy food, to pay the rent, to pay the mortgage, to pay, to take care of the kids. She still expects him to still go to work and provide. But now switch the roles. Can a woman stay with a man who's not providing for 10, 15 years? Who's not paying rent? Who's not buying nothing at home? No. You know, it's crazy out here.
Talk every single time. So it's like you need to make sure you're doing it like 3 to 5. I would say like 3. 2. Sometimes you want to go like 2 times, 2 to 3, but it really should be like 4. 2 to 4 times is ideal.
So a lack of sex in these marriages is the most common theme that you're seeing when they end.
Yeah, because it's connected to more of that. It's not just physical. It's like, all right, well, if you're not into someone and you're disgusted by them and you're pissed off at them, you're not going to be having sex with them, right? Because you're going to be unattracted to them, you're going to be irritated, and you're not going to be into them. So you're not going to be banging them.
So why do you think people stay in these relationships for so long?
I think they stay in it just because it's comfortable and it's easy and it's really hard. This is a marriage is a breakup on steroids. Like if you're gonna get a divorce, it's not just like I'm moving my shit out, bye-bye. It's like if there's kids involved, forget about it. It's like your whole life is upended. It's a major decision. Your family's affected. Your life is affected. Half your crap is gone. So it's
Yeah, but usually half the crap is gone from the man. And usually men, one of the reasons they stay married, even if they don't want it, they're not getting sex, they stay in sexless marriages, is because they don't want their assets to be taken. They don't want to be taken away from their kids. You know, so those are the 2 main reasons most guys don't file for divorce, because they know as soon as they get divorced, they're going to be thrown out of the house, and then they won't be able to see their kids as much as they want.
It's a little bit tougher than with just a simple breakup.
When a couple goes through a divorce, what's the process typically entail?
Someone has to file, first and foremost, someone's got to file. So you got to fill out the paperwork, file it with the court, and then you've got to serve someone, or they have to sign something saying they've gotten it. So either you have a random stranger who's hired by a service, or you have someone that you know go and hand them the paperwork, which is always awkward. Or you can tell them, hey, I'm going to divorce you, and you're going to sign this document saying you've received this, which is always awkward.
The way they don't send a sheriff out to serve them, or
You can't, like some people will do that where you can get a constable, but it's not a sheriff. If there's a restraining order, you can get a sheriff to do it.
okay,
A whole nother.
so they sign that, then what happens?
Then they have in California, they've got 30 days to file a response. In Massachusetts, where I'm also barred, like they can just respond. So someone has to respond to it and say, all right, yeah, I want a divorce too. And this is what I want to do. And it's a simple paperwork.
So party A agrees for the divorce, and so does party B. Does that mean that they're officially divorced and that's fun, or?
No, I wish. It'd make things a lot easier, but no, you've got to go through this whole rigmarole. All right, well, what do you have? Show me your paperwork for the past. Show me your bank accounts. Show me your credit card statements. Show me everything. I want to see what your financial assets are. So you got to break it down each person, which causes problems, right? Because someone's on OnlyFans, you're seeing it on their bank account. Because unlike, Ashley Madison, they used to hide it as American Bank. OnlyFans just says straight up OnlyFans. They have no shame with their billing. So you start seeing these kind of charges and you go, all right, well, we need to do more. I got to look into this. What else have you done? Have you gone to hotels? I want to see more bank statements. Take me back 5 years.
And so this can expose more
Yeah.
infidelity in a relationship.
Yeah, and problems. So it's like, all right, now you're doing a deep dive and now you're starting to snoop through stuff and you've got some problems.
Yeah, but I think that's why most guys don't want to get divorced, even if they're in unhappy relationships, because it's like, first of all, it takes too long, and then in most cases, if the guy makes the most money, he is paying for the woman's lawyer. So get this straight, right? A woman is gonna file divorce against you, and then you have to give her money to pay her lawyer. You have to pay her lawyer fees to help her divorce you. And then while you are doing that, you're paying her lawyer, she's also going to take some of your money. You know what I mean? That's why I've seen videos. Actually, if you guys know the comedian, I forget his name, the white comedian, Gary Owen, when his wife wanted to divorce him, apparently, like she said, She had to file the papers, and then she has to give in the papers. Hey, listen, I'm divorcing you. You have the papers. It's official. Let's go to court. He had to switch states and had to always be hiding from her so that she doesn't serve him the papers. So the whole thing is crazy. And no man watches these, listens to these, and then gets excited that, you know what, I can't wait to get married. So clearly there's a good reason why men don't want to get married anymore. You know, let's watch a little bit more.
Okay. But after that process is done with the financial assets and looking at that, is it just the man had... So after that part's done, is it the man has made 100K and the girl makes 50K, so the girl gets 25 from the man, or what?
No. Then you're going to be looking at a whole complicated state-by-state calculation of, all right, how long were you married? Who paid what? Who's doing what? Who can earn what? Like, so now you're looking at all the potential of that, and you're going to get a crazy calculation. And if you're married for a decent amount of time, you're going to get some spousal support. If you're, like, say the guy's paying all the bills, woman's at home. The guy's going to pay up. He's going to be paying a good amount, and it's going to be for... In California, if it's less than 10 years, he'll be paying half the length of the marriage. Massachusetts, you go, you know, it goes to 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20. It doesn't go, it's more regulated, but just depends.
Being a divorce lawyer for 8 years, are you for prenups or are you against them?
Prenups are amazing. I'm a big fan of prenups. When some of my friends get married, instead of giving them a blender, I give them a prenup because it's a lot more useful, and I just do it for free and set it up. And I know the relationships, you know what to put in there. And it's great. So prenups, and you have a roadmap, basically what you're going to do. You can save like 50K on average if you have a prenup, like easily. Because you already say you divide this, do that. And you can put future stuff in there. So vacation home, okay, I have no vacation home right now, but you put in the prenup and you can divide your vacation home, or say you have a business, divide your business a certain way. You do certain things.
But if prenups...
Yeah, but these days prenups are challenged in court. You guys have seen celebrities who have prenups, men, and then the woman tries to challenge and tries to tell the judge, oh, when I signed the prenup, I was under duress. He forced me to sign it. I didn't want to sign it. And women can already say that, if we're going to be honest. Because most women, if we're going to be honest, unless she makes more money than the guy she's getting married to, most women don't want to sign the prenup. She's going to say, oh, you think I just want you for your money? You think I don't love you? So you don't trust me? But it's not about trust. It's about that if we get divorced, I would rather we know who's taking what rather than the state having to decide for us. You know, so I believe most guys would be willing to sign the prenup. Most women wouldn't be willing to sign the prenup. But the next thing is, men now know that prenups can be challenged. I can guarantee you, she's a divorce lawyer. She has challenged some prenups, if we're going to be honest. In her experience, I can guarantee you, there are prenups she has looked at and she's like, this is not fair, we're going to fight it. So men are like, okay, even prenups don't really protect you like that. We have seen rich guys whose prenups have been thrown out, and then the guy has to pay, spousal support. And I think, I'll say one last thing, right? Another thing men don't like is you get divorced. They throw you out of your house. Let's say the judge grants her that, hey, she's going to take the house. Okay. So now you've been thrown out of your house and now you have to pay her spousal support. But as you're paying her spousal support, alimony, then she brings another man in the house that you had before you got married. And now other guys are banging her, clapping her cheeks in the same house that you had before you even met this woman. So when most guys think about that, like, no, I'm not doing this marriage thing. Anyway, man, shout out to Desirable Truth. I'll put the full link down below so you guys can go finish the video. Okay, so next up, my favorite of the channel, the PIF Network. Let's go. There's not enough desirable men. Women are saying there's not enough good men to marry. Let's go.
That women are having, black women in particular, when it comes to becoming a wife.
Keeping it 100, there's not enough eligible black males who fit the needs of black women. By the time you dissect the demographics of finances, sexual orientation, what you end up drilling down into, because Black women tend to want to marry Black men.
Right, right.
So Black women are excelling. They're getting accelerated degrees, graduate degrees, doctorate degrees. They're starting businesses. Black women are running circles around men.
Right.
And it's also shown in research that women want to marry on their same level of financial and educational status.
Yeah.
So if you're a Black woman making $150,000 a year with a master's degree, you tend to want to marry a Black man on that same level or higher. If Black women are excelling at such an accelerated rate, how do men keep up with that?
So one thing I want to point out, what you described, Casey, was the ideal situation, right? Where two people come together to lift each other up, to complement each other. You know, you might have somebody making six figures who have property and all of that, but then the other person might not come with that. The issue, from my stance, what I'm seeing is, and the key word, there are not a lot of eligible men. There are not a lot of men with that mindset who can even align with that concept nowadays. So regardless of degree, you know what I mean? I know that came up in the ladies' segment or whatnot, but even if, let's just say you have somebody who went to trade school, like somebody used as an example earlier, if that man, from my observation, if that man is considered eligible because he's meeting all of this criteria, he oftentimes has a lot of options. And we're living in times now where I'm finding that these men don't respect the idea of marriage. I meet a lot of good men. There are a lot of great men that I come across, but the question is, are they eligible or not? Oftentimes the men who are doing their thing, you know what I mean, who would become a good husband, those men oftentimes are bouncing around from woman to woman to woman, and it's not because they haven't met good women. I can think of a few men who have gone through a lot of good women, you know what I mean? But I understand that is also about perspective, because everybody is looking for something different. But in general,
right, that's exactly what I was about to tell you, Brittany.
No, the issue is, ladies, you guys only consider a man eligible because he makes a certain amount of money that you want him to spend on you. So y'all started this whole thing of six figures. So any men who don't make six figures, they're not good men or marriage material. And then you mentioned all the degrees that you got, all the money in the beginning of the clip. She was talking about, oh, they're making 150,000, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't matter because you're not planning to spend the money on the man. So you mentioning that the degrees that you got, the money that you make, that you're not even willing to spend on the man, and it's not like the men are looking for you to spend the money on them. So what are you talking about? Why do you guys keep talking about the degrees and the money that you make? Men don't care about that. Now, if you said, I'm willing to spend my money on the man, I'm willing to go 50-50, okay, then you mentioning the money would make sense. But when you stop using money as the main and the most important thing to determine if a man is marriage material or not, then we'll get somewhere.
We can't make anybody love us or pick us or choose us, right? When it comes to a man's criteria in picking a woman for a long-term relationship or to be a wife, that is something that he has come to terms with and something that he is looking for. It's nothing that a woman can do outside of who she actually is, right? She must be competitive. That's number one. A lot of Black women do not want to be competitive, right? The first thing a woman will say is, I'm not about to chase him. I'm not about to do all of that. He got other hoes. I'm not about to go all of that. I'm not about to do that. That's a problem, right? It's a problem because we'll be competitive with everything else in our life. We'll be competitive with getting that promotion. We'll be competitive with in school. We'll be competitive in every other lane, whether it's sports. We'll be competitive when it comes to laying our stake in the ground and saying, I'm here, this is mine. But that same spirit has to come into place. If you are saying this man is eligible He's good look. I'm attracted to him. He's a good guy, but he has a lot of women after him. He's gonna have a lot of women after him if he's all of those things. What sets you apart? He may not express the things in his heart that he's always wanted as a wife, right? Y'all were talking about Love is Blind the other day. I watched it. That was last night, right, guys? Last night when y'all talking about Love is Blind, and Miss Taken was talking about there's certain things a man is looking for when he's thinking about a wife. He's not about to take the time to teach women certain things that he feel like doesn't need to be explained. So these women, to you, Brittany, may seem like good women because what we see from our friends is not what the man that is dating them sees.
Facts.
It's not the same thing, right?
She's cooking.
So I could have a great friend, but I don't know. I don't live with my best friends. I don't live with none of my homegirls. I don't know if they only clean up for me to come over or for us to have girls' night. I don't know if she cooks all the time for the guys that she's dated. I don't know if she gets up and goes after, you know, things and is very communicative. Lord, I can't think. Communicating to that man, communicative about life and family and spirituality and sexuality. We don't know those things as women. So it's kind of a hard situation that we have to accept. If you're in the dating market, number one, you gotta be competitive.
Facts. And black women don't want to compete for black men. They just want you to accept them the way they are. They expect you to work hard, be in shape, you know, be nice to them, prove to them. They actually say, prove to them that you can be on my level. They tell you you're not on my level. Do ABCD to prove to me that you are worth my time. But the moment the man says, what are you going to do for me? Prove to me. They say, I'm the table. I'm the prize. I don't got to do nothing. I'm just going to come the way I am and you got to accept it. And men are saying, no. If you want me to make this amount of money, to be the protector, to be the provider, be in shape, be romantic, do ABCD, what do I get in return? And then crickets. She is cooking. This is unbelievable. Like, it's very rare to hear a black woman actually try to explain the real reason black men are not marrying black women. Man, shout out to her. She is cooking. It's like, what are men getting in return? You want marriage-minded men who will make all this kind of money to spend on you. What do they get in return?
Number two, you have to be open to really meeting a man and understanding who he is and
Facts.
what makes y'all, I'm sorry, my daughter just woke up. What makes you set apart from other women?
Yep.
And also, are you willing to work with that man? A lot of us we're not bendable. We're not moldable. We're not bendable. We don't acquiesce to men. We don't even acquiesce to our friends and family.
They just want to be accepted the way they are. I'm a prize. I'm the princess. I'm a queen. Look what you're missing out on. She talks back at you. You know, her attitude in the public. Like she can't be nice to you. There are men who have been in relationships, but they've never heard their woman use a soft, soothing voice. And some of you guys are going to be like, why are they in those relationships? Because that's the best they can do. That's what they're used to. It's the trauma bonding BS. Because they know they have been used to the fact that the women talk like that. They can't be nice to you. They're going to talk back and snatch souls and the hand signals like that. And, you know, or whatever, all that stuff they do. She's cooking. Let's go.
So how do you think that your man is going to deal with you way more than your friends and family? And I'm not just talking to you, Brittany. I'm talking in general to everybody else.
And you said one key thing I want to interject.
Go ahead.
When there are certain things a man looks for when he's thinking about a wife.
Yep.
I think beyond the degrees, beyond the money, beyond all of that, the mindset of men today is not marriage oriented.
Yeah, because what are they getting in return? You know, because let's be honest, men react to what women do. For example, when a woman says, I need a man to take me to a $500 dinner date, there are two things a man can do. He's either going to do it or he won't do it, because he's going to think about it and say, what do I get in return? Because it's a relationship. You give something, you receive something. So if you're saying men are not marriage minded anymore, ask yourself, are women marriage minded these days or are they not? Question number 2. If they're being married, if you want men to be marriage minded, why should they be? Like, what incentive do you give them? Have you been preaching that you want to be married, or have you been saying you want to be independent of men because you're boss ass bitches with degrees and making so much money? What have you been telling these men for all these decades? So don't just say men are not marriage minded. Let's talk about exactly where that came from. Like I said, when it comes to dating, men react to what women say or put out there.
So I think, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole per se, but that's a big foundational issue before we get to any of the other stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he has to.
So but Brittany, flip the side, flip it. Are women being raised to be wives these days?
No. Woo.
Well, we're not talking about preparation. We're just talking about design.
No, Kuka. We're talking about preparation. If you're talking about the foundation of a man, what's the foundation of a woman? We are coming from the same households. And I'll even give her that men are also not being raised to be husbands. But neither are women raised to be wives.
No, Brittany, you said men are not looking for marriage, or they're not marriage material. You gotta ask, if men hold the keys to marriage, why are they holding on to the keys? Why are they not giving and opening up to women? It's because it's a give and take.
Yes.
Men are not wifing women.
Yep.
And also, forget marriage. You gotta have a serious relationship before you even get married. They're not having the serious relationships because the women are in a use mentality.
Facts. They only claim a man is marriage material when he makes a certain amount of money that they think qualifies them. We have seen on these shows, I've reacted to like thousands of shows, where women literally say, I want a man who makes $200,000. And then Kendra is like, what if he makes 150? Then she says, he shouldn't contact me. Seriously. To them, a man who's marriage material is a man who makes a certain amount of money they think is good enough for them. She's right. She's cooking. But shout out to this lady. Oh my goodness. She's cooking.
What can you do for me?
Yep.
What are you bringing to the table?
Yep.
What bills are you paying for?
Facts.
What 5-star restaurant am I going to? Where vacationing? Where are we vacationing this year? What are you doing for my birthday? The culture, Big Lotto. What are you doing for my birthday? That is the culture. What are you doing for my birthday? We don't need to talk about nothing else. What are you doing for my birthday?
You're 100% right. There
you go. Finally, guys. She accepted.
Of women.
She accepted defeat. She said what? She said, you are 100% right. But remember, in the beginning, she was fighting her. Even this lady down here is smiling. Ooh, this lady, guys, put the flowers down below for Miss Casey. I think that's the name. Put flowers down below in the comments. Oh my God. It's been a while since, it's very rare to find a woman who cooks other women about black men. Oh my goodness. This was fire. Shout out to Latif, man.
Women that aligns with what you just described. But there is also a population of women who desire to be wives and who are wife material, who were raised to be wives, who understand what it means to be a virtuous woman and all of the above. But
is that the minority or the majority? Let's compare. The women who are wife material in 2025 Is the percentage higher compared to 1960, or is it lower? And the women who are wife material, who are their friends? Are their friends the ones who scream independent, or are their friends married friends? Let's ask all those questions, and then we'll get to the truth. So shout out to Lapeef, man. This was a fire video. All right, next up. Whew, Kendra G. Let's go, man. You know these are fire. She wants $250,000. If you make any less, she doesn't want you. Let's go.
So we have Florence in New Jersey, 26, Capricorn, owns a cosmetic tattoo clinic.
Yes, ma'am.
No kids, never married. All right, honey. What kind of man you looking for, boo?
Yes, I'm looking for someone who is very genuine, number one. Kind and family orientated. Yeah, you know. What else? What else? What else? Has to be a provider, of course. And no one that's short. Short cannot work for me.
So no short kings. Okay, we got it. She looks good though. Nice smile, nice skin. I'm not a weave kind of guy, but she looks good. But no short kings. So, but she needs to define what's short. Let's see.
How tall should he be?
Mm-hmm.
He should be at least taller than me, and
What's
I'm
that?
5'6".
Okay.
Okay, so I'm 5'8". Do I count? Because well, usually they say that, but they're actually saying the guy has to be 6 feet. They claim he should be taller than me, but they're taller than me is usually 6 feet and above. Let's see.
So you're 5'6". Could he be 5'10", or would you consider that short?
That's fine. 5'10" is fine. My voice, I have a little cold, so it's a little raspy.
I like the voice.
When
though.
you say provider, what does provider mean to you?
Like, you give me a card to go to the supermarket so I can cook for you.
Mm.
You know?
Okay. Okay. So you have to give her your credit card so she can buy the groceries to make you food.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you ever ask for the card to go shopping?
That too. Whatever we need for the house, you know, like
Okay.
I'm a type of girl. I love home. So anything to uplift the spirit in my home is what I really love the most.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give her credit, guys. For all the times we criticize the ladies on Kendra G show, I'll give her credit. At least she said, I'll go buy food to cook for you. So many times on these shows, when they say I want a man who's going to provide, they just say provide, 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 but they never say anything they're going to do for a man. But at least she said she will cook. So that's a start. You know, I like her smile too.
All right. What are your deal breakers?
Liar,
That's it?
liar, no kids.
He can't have kids, you mean?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no kids. What else? Has to drive, needs to have a license, has to have a passport, because I love to travel.
Has to have a
That's a thing these days. When they say I like to travel and he has to have a passport, I will translate for you guys because the ladies never say exactly what they mean. What they mean by I like a man who travels, I like to travel, he should have a passport. It means I want a man who's going to come in and pay for my travel trips. Because best believe when you guys go on a trip, if she has been paying for her trips, and you guys are in a relationship, she's not going to keep paying for her trips when you guys go on a trip together. Just letting you know.
passport, has to have a license. Should he look a certain way? You already said he has to be taller than 5'6".
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, but I don't know. I can't think off the head right now.
Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Here we go.
I would say, you know, like I'm not looking at the number, but I think to be realistic, everything is expensive. So you need to kind of like be able to be in the space to date, you know? like take me out on dates, pay for the traveling expenses.
She said it. Put my flowers for me in the comments. Finally, the first woman to admit that you have to be able to pay for her travel trips. They always say, I like to travel. I like a man who likes to travel. But they always keep out the part where they say you have to pay for my travel trips. She said it. She admitted it. Put the fire emojis. Put the flowers for me in the comments. Let's go.
Things like that. And, spoil me.
So there's no money requirement. Just have money.
Yeah, come with the bag, please.
Is the bag to you 80,000?
No.
Lord of Nebuchadnezzar. So $80,000 is not money to her. And that's even more than the average black man makes. So she just canceled out almost 80% of all black men. All of them. I'm sensing a sugar baby, so she wants a sugar daddy, which is fine, but I'm just saying. She just said $80,000 is nothing.
Okay, we're getting clarity. Is the bag to you 100,000?
No.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God. Guys, dating is over. Dating is dead. If you never heard it before, you heard it here first. Dating is dead. She just said men making $100,000 are not good enough for her.
Okay, so what's the bag to you?
I would say around $250,000, like 250.
Okay.
It's good.
Oh my God.
So that's the requirement, 250K.
Yes.
250,000
Minimum.
minimum.
Yeah.
Okay. 250K is the minimum. Let's
Yes.
do the Kendra Cam.
So for all you guys, I know it's gonna be like maybe 1 or 2 guys making 250K watching me. So you guys may laugh at me. I don't qualify for her, but neither do you, nigga. You don't qualify either. You might be tall. She said 5'10". You might be taller than me. But if you don't make 250,000, you are like me, man. We don't qualify for her. She's out of our league. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna have to die lonely. We're gonna have to die single. Or there's Africa. There's Asia. There's Brazil. There's Colombia. Should I keep going? Passport bros, let's go.
What's that?
That's when you stand up and we see your full body.
Okay. Let's see.
She looks good, I can already tell.
Oh, wait, so your phone went out for a second. Okay, we see. You want to show? Okay, we can see like you're in good shape.
Yeah, I work out, so.
Does she have a BBL? Or is she just
250K
thick?
is the requirement. You know the cousin's talking about you, girl.
What they saying, cousin?
Well, let's just read this one comment who paid. Shay said, I almost cut for her till she said she needs his card. Well, we know now 250K is the requirement. So if you dated me and has 250K, I don't think he would have the means to give you his card.
I mean, you can give me cash too to go shopping for food and groceries. It's not. I mean, like.
Yeah, but what food and groceries cost 250,000 if we're gonna be honest? Because it's not like she has kids. And how much are you guys eating that you need a man who makes 250,000 just to go buy groceries? Well, she mentioned travel, so okay, maybe. But even then, are you going to travel trips every month? Where are you going that you need 250,000? We are cooked. Damn.
Like, if you're dating someone, Kendra, like, what do you like, I'm asking you, would you literally, go get the
I think life is individual for one. I don't think the rules are the same for every woman. So let's start there. I will say, I understand your requirements. So let me bring it back to you. Do you normally date men in that tax bracket?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So what's up with them?
Good question.
So right now, I'm just not like dating my ex anymore. We split up.
Why did you split up?
I don't want to talk about it, but yeah, we split.
See? See, because if the men making 250,000 were as many as you make it seem like, you would have plenty of them. But I can guarantee you have plenty of average men in your inbox. And now you had a guy who was pretty much a sugar daddy, if we're gonna be honest. And then he let you go, or you let him go, whatever the case. Chances of just finding another, now she's a good looking woman, so I can see how she could snack up another, sugar daddy. But even them, as soon as they get their sugar, couple months, they are gone, because there are plenty of women who want them, who want some of their money too.
So it's very personal on his behalf, but
Okay.
yeah.
I respect that. I think that the notion is
Somebody
more
said
he-
somebody said Nigerian woman. I am.
I think the notion is, okay, are you willing to deal with some of the things that might come along with a man that makes that kind of money?
Like what, Kendra?
Why, she doesn't know what comes with the sugar daddies? Why is she acting like as if she doesn't know?
Like maybe other women, like maybe not as much time because they're working so much to have that type of money to give.
I'm used to that because I don't want a
See?
guy sitting in the house all day, so I'm kind of used to that already. I
Are
have
you
my
okay if he has other women as well?
no.
No. Okay. So
Oh my god. Yo, that entitlement is crazy. So she wants a man who makes 250,000 and she just wants him to be loyal just to her, when every other woman would love to get a man who makes 250K. And that's what really surprises me. It's like they reject the average guy who's likely to be loyal because he doesn't have enough money to spend on women, but then they will go with a rich guy they already know he's probably going to have 2 or 3 of her. That always makes absolutely no sense to me, but I understand it.
250K and faithful to you and only you.
Yes.
Okay.
Delulu.
When was your last relationship?
What? It's been like 8 months now.
8 months. Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
She's gonna lie.
That was like 2 months ago.
Oh, so there's an average guy who hit 2 months ago, because she broke up with a rich guy 8 months ago, but 2 months ago there could have been an average guy who got to cut the chicks.
Did he make 250K?
It was my ex, yeah.
Oh, your ex. Okay.
Oh,
you're done with
okay.
him. Okay. So you're done with him for real?
Yes.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
I would say I would like to work on being patient.
Okay.
What else? That's really it. Just the patience,
Lack of self-awareness, I guess.
Patience. Okay. That's your only flaw?
Yeah, just patience.
Mom, you could work on being delusional. That's a flaw. You could work on just self-awareness. You could work on the entitlement. Like that, you got so many, like 1,000 flaws. I think Kendra needs to start asking them, instead of asking them flaws, I think she needs to start asking them, what are you going to do for that kind of man? Like, what do you think that kind of man wants, and what are you willing to give in return? I'll give her credit. She did say cook, but that's all she mentioned, for everything the man brings to the table. Anyway, man, shout out to Kendra. Shout out to this young lady. She looks good. So chances are she may still get the guy who makes 250,000. So who knows? I'll link down below. All right, next up, shout out to Lapif. They're going to talk about how social media has destroyed the black woman. Let's go.
I don't know who said it, but I just keep hearing this single mother thing when there's both parents in the home. Like, how are you a single mother if the father's there? I wanna understand that, because there's a difference between being a single mother and a mother that's single. You get what I'm saying? Like, I keep hearing that y'all single mothers because you guys have to do the house. Some women have to do the house duties. Like Sweeney said, like, we ignore what all the things that men do for their children. We take them out. We teach them so many different things. We help you guys out, but all of the stuff gets ignored because you guys have to cook and clean for the most part. Y'all act like men don't cook, men don't clean, men don't do nothing, men don't make you guys feel good, men don't tell you guys you look good. All these other things is getting ignored because y'all in y'all feelings.
Yep.
So I just want to understand where's the whole single mother thing if there are men there. You guys are talking about women that's divorced, getting divorced. That means the man was there. So how are you a single mother?
Good question.
Go ahead, Casey.
No, Trev just said something that I agree with, and I kind of hinted at, well, touched on it when I was talking before, but too much is given, much is required. And if you want certain things in life, there's going to be a lot that is required of you. And you have to make your mind up to know what the work that is going to be required to maintain with whatever you've prayed for, you've asked for. Yeah, I think social media was probably the worst thing that ever happened to Black people because just like how the church has changed when it comes to emotions and preaching into people's emotions and their feelings and preaching feel good sermons and feel good situations with welcoming people in. I think social media is propaganda to speak to people's emotions on how they're feeling, and their emotions are then heightened and becomes the driving force within their decision making, and they stop using critical thinking skills, they stop using logic, they stop using rational situations. They don't look at it rationally anymore. It's all emotions driven. And it's a sad thing because, like Trev said, other cultures are going to bite the bullet. What do I want? What is required of me? And they're just going to do it. They're not going to complain about it. They're not going to get on social media. A man who wants to be rich knows that he's not going to be rich by laying in the bed. You have to get up. You have to do something. You have to get degrees. You have to study. You have to learn. You have to pour into yourself. You have to work. A woman who wants a family, you're not going to be able to maintain a family by laying in the bed all day. You're not going to be able to maintain a family by going to work and coming home and going to sleep, and the house is not going to take care of itself. You're not going to be able to be a wife and the relationship takes care of itself. There's going to be work that is required of you. Heavy is the head that wears a crown. You want to call yourself a queen? You want to have this queen life? Black women want to be, I'm queen this, I'm queen that. Well, a queen rules over and takes care of her kingdom. A queen is responsible. A queen knows how to balance more than one thing at a time. If you call yourself a woman, you should be able to do more than one thing on a daily basis.
Man, I love this lady. Every time Casey's on the panel, she cooks. Because I know some of you guys have seen me react to Latif's Network's videos. When there's Ali, the lady, she looks good, but she's always loud and drunk and things like that. You know, so maybe some of you guys have not seen so much of Casey, but she cooks other women. Like, I've barely seen her because she knows usually other women are going to be, you know, saying negative things about Black men, but she comes on to hold them accountable. And obviously other women don't like it. But something she just literally just said in simple words is women want the wedding and the marriage, but they don't want to be wives. It's like the moment they get the marriage, the wedding ring, it's like they stop trying. It's like when they are dating the guy, they will cook for the guy, they will do all these nice things for the guy, buy him a few gifts, things like that. But as soon as the guy bites the bullet and marries them and it's official, they stop. You know, they start to complain. They want the guy to provide, but then he goes out to work and then they say he works too much. Oh, he's not at home. He's not helping me wash the dishes. It's like you gotta choose, you know, like he can't do everything. You're gonna know your roles. So she's right. It's like they want, the moment they get the marriage, they just want to sit back and they want the guy to do everything and they just be queens and princesses and they call themselves the prize. She's cooking. Let's go.
That's the part of being a woman. Little girls do little girl things. You go to school, you do what's asked of you, what your parents require you to do. But women have to take charge and have to take control of what is in their wheelhouse. And the things that are in our wheelhouse, the things that God innately gave to us is nurture, right? We nurture, we take care. The things that we have within us that grows as we become women, those are the things that God gave us. We can't be mad at men because of the things that God gave us. Those are the things that are in us, and those are the things that we're responsible for within a family unit. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, so what? It's a lot on Nick Saban too, but he's still winning championships every year.
But I think it comes from the fact that, in my opinion, because if we're going to be honest, men are not taught to be husbands anymore. Women are not taught to be wives anymore. But if there's one thing society does, is to teach women that the man has to do everything in the relationship. He has to worship the ground you walk on. He has to buy you this. He has to do this. It's like, you shouldn't do anything in the house. He should still pay for a maid to come clean the house. He should pay for the bills. He should buy the food, get the maid, buy food from the restaurants. It's like, don't do anything. Just be in the house, be a wife. Okay, sure, pop up some babies, but that's it. So they're not taught to be wives. They're not taught the real extent of how tough, how you have to be responsible for a marriage. And if I'm going to be honest, like I said, men are not taught either. But at least for men, we know we still have to do something. We have to provide. We have been told time and time again, you have to protect, you have to provide. Men are okay with that, even if they're not taught when they were kids. But the moment women are told you have to cook, you have to clean, I'm not a slave. You think I'm a slave? I'm not a slave. So it's like men are held to a certain standard, but women are not. And it's not fair.
That are in big positions in life, that are responsible for a lot of people, that have to balance a lot of things, they deal with it because they want that title. They want that. So if I'm going to have this title, this is what comes with it. If you're going to call yourself a good mother, this is what comes with it. If you're going to call yourself a badass wife, like people like to do on social media,
the queen,
all this type of thing, that is what is required of that title. Otherwise, take the title off. That's not who you are. You're a fraud.
Facts.
Right. And this whole, like I saw, we were talking about social media can be fake. Yeah, nothing about me is fake. With my mom, I saw my mom never leave the house without makeup. I saw her never leave the house without a decent outfit on. I saw her cook. She was a stay-at-home mom for 12 years, and then she went into the workforce, and she's still in the workforce now. So I've seen her do everything in every different type of scenario, and I've seen her do it to the best of her ability in every situation. If our family required something differently, we did something differently, and she was right there working along with my dad. Like Shan said, it's a family unit and it's teamwork with a husband and wife, but women have to not be afraid of the title of wife and mom. If you're going to call yourself those titles, you better be willing to do everything that comes along with it.
I mean, shout out to her, man. She grew up with a great example, which is the mom in the house, the mom and the dad in the house. She saw the mom putting in the work, but like I said, that the women these days, they want to be wives, but they think they want to be wives just in the house and that's it, in the mansion. And then the man should pay the bills. The man should hire a maid. The man should pay for the trips. The man, sometimes these days, if you guys have been watching these days, especially with the rich guys, right? The women are not even having the babies anymore. They get their eggs, they get the sperm, and then they pay a different woman to be the surrogate, to carry the child. I don't know if you guys heard me. These days, they're not even carrying the babies themselves. They pay someone else to carry their child. So literally, they just want to exist. As soon as they get the title of wife, that's it. And men are saying this is not a fair deal. You don't want to do anything to contribute, because even when the relationship ends, they're going to blame the man. Even if he has been paying the bills, doing his best to be there for the kids, doing his best to protect, doing his best to make sure everyone has food on the plate every single day, their phone bills are paid, everything is good, they have electricity. Even when the relationship ends, they'll blame the man. So the men are looking and saying, you know what? Is this fair? I don't think so. So men are either going to Europe, rather Africa, South America, East Asia and things like that, or they're not getting married anymore. This woman was cooking. Oh my goodness.
So, and I wanted to add something too. Appreciate that cooking. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Casey cooking. Casey be cooking, boy. Gotta
I
get
know.
props when we can. I got to do that. But we live. You gotta understand, ladies, man. You gotta understand how hard it is for a man to be in a situation like this. We live in a system
Facts.
where no fault divorce allows women to walk away, and most of the times they take the children with them because they got the favor of the family courts.
Facts.
So you got to understand that it's only reasonable to expect a woman's full submission, her full cooperation and willingness to compromise. She got to be down. She got to go do the hard work. And without these qualities, men are pretty much at a systemic disadvantage. We at a disadvantage. So at least, like I tell men all the time, at least set up the marriage structure the way you want, because you're at a disadvantage coming in anyways. And this thing about walking away from your family because of your feelings and all this shit, man, you got to understand, for many generations, men stayed on the front lines, putting their duty first and not letting their feelings walk them away from war.
Facts.
Like for hundreds of years. And today it's sad because today we see some women, a lot of women leaving marriages because of their feelings instead of staying committed to their family.
Yeah.
Just imagine if men, imagine if we operated like that off of our feelings. Where would this?
That would be crazy, because if every time a man got mad, got pissed off, he would say, I'm not paying rent this month. If every time a man got annoyed, he was in his feelings, he says, I'm not paying tuition for the kids, I'm not paying the school fees, I'm not buying food. If you think the divorces are high, how many divorces would we have then? Because even when most men are not happy, they still continue to pay the bills. They still continue to do their part. But the moment ladies are not happy, wives are not happy, there goes the sex. Men stay in sexless relationships for 7-8 years. If they're not happy, they tell their single friends. If they're not happy, they don't cook anymore. If they're not happy, not intimacy. No love at all. But if the man is not happy, he's still expected to do his job, which the main job is to provide. You still got to go to work and bring that money back home for the kids. It's crazy. It's not a fair deal. So, man, shout out to this lady. Shout out to Lapeef, man. This was a fire video, man. Real conversations. And for the first time, the ladies didn't fight back. Now, maybe for the full video they did, but at least they didn't fight back. But she was cooking. They couldn't say anything. So shout out to Lapeef. Link down below. All right, next up, shout out to Kendra. Whew, man. This lady, mom to 6. She has 2 boyfriends and she's looking for a third man. You guys may think this is crazy, but it's true. So let's get into it.
Sorry.
Okay. What's your name, love?
Polly.
Polly. Polly, where you calling me from?
I'm calling from Nebraska.
Nebraska? Nebraska, how old are you?
I am 37. I'll be 38 this year.
You'll be 38 this year? So when's your birthday? What's your
December.
birthday? Okay, 37. So you Sagittarius or a Capricorn?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. You have any kids?
Yes.
How many kids?
So I have 6 kids.
Okay.
Hey, I know I got
the dog bark. The dog.
No.
The dog.
No.
Roof.
Yeah, if I just grab this real quick.
She said 6 kids and the dog bark, child. The dog.
Yeah.
The dog said roof.
No.
He said 6 kids. He said damn right. Damn right. He got these 6 ass kids.
Lord.
The dog.
Yeah. No. I took an opportunity this evening, and I apologize. I took an opportunity this evening because I am closing the store today. So I was like, oh, I saw that. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I did it. So I'm on here. I'm working too. I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't know how they always come onto these shows when they're at work. I would never embarrass myself like that, but I don't know if it's the, addiction to attention, or they just, I don't know what it is, the bored, whatever it is, but I would never. At work, no.
How old are your 6 kids, honey?
Okay, so I have an 18-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old. I
Six
have
kids.
a 11-year-old, a 6 and 7-year-old.
Okay, all by the same man?
No,
No,
How many
absolutely not.
Three.
Three
men?
men.
Have you ever been married?
yes.
How many times?
One time,
And when did you get divorced?
2014.
Okay, was the guy you married, was he one of your kids' dads?
Yes,
How many kids you have by the one you married?
one.
One, got you. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Polly.
So the married guy got one kid, and all the other guys, the 2 guys, got the rest of the 5 kids. Damn.
What do you do for a living, love?
I'm actually a restaurant manager at 2 different restaurants. So I'm a manager at 2 restaurants, and I have my own cleaning business.
Okay. Ooh, my pen's dying. Oh, my pen just died. How is this? Okay.
Oh, no.
I gotta make it work without the pen, child. Okay. Cleaning business. All right.
Yes,
So
yes,
we got
ma'am.
Polly, Nebraska, 37, Sagittarius, mom of
Mhm.
6 kids by 3 men. One was her ex-husband. She's a
Mhm.
restaurant manager. What kind of man you looking for?
Well, I am poly, so I do have more than one partner. So that is something that, you know, so I'm open to having another partner.
So are you
Um,
open? So do you have a man right now? Okay, poly men or poly? Are you mixing with women?
Most men.
Okay, so you
Mhm.
already have a guy.
Yes, yes.
Looking for a
Mhm.
new guy.
Yeah, I'm open to the find a new partner. Mhm.
So does this help me understand? Because I know poly is different for all people. Will this guy join into your current relationship or be a separate relationship?
So yeah, I'm more. My population looks more polyandry. So I basically have partnerships with men, but they're like separate. They're not. We're not all together. So you know, I have a relationship with that person. It's like it looks very one-on-one, and you know, they're aware I have another partners or other partners, and you know, they meet sometimes and things like that. But yeah, for the most part, it's kind of what it's like. Mhm.
I honestly don't know which guys sign up for this. Actually, I'm lying. I know the type of men who sign up for this are the men who just want to clap the chicks. If we're gonna be honest, the men who don't care. So it makes sense how she may have 6 kids from 3 men. And I can guarantee you, I wouldn't be shocked if she gets a 7th kid. So honestly, for me, to most guys, this is just gonna be an opportunity to clap them chicks. But be careful, man. You don't want to get her pregnant, because now you're gonna be the 4th baby daddy. Which you probably, if you're going to clap her chicks, you probably don't care anyway.
Okay. So the men that you both date, they may meet each other at your birthday dinner?
No, but I mean, no, like just like passing, like might come over and hang out a little bit, hang out with me. It's not like it's very like, you know, open, friendly. It's not like, you know, aggression or anything. It's like, hey, you know, hey, how are you? And then we just go like normal.
I have learned so much from this show because I used to always think that poly was something that men wanted, right? Because they just want more women. But I learned from the show with women like yourself, sometimes it's their desire. They're like, no, I want to be in a poly relationship. I don't want to be exclusive to one man.
If we're gonna be honest, some women would love that too. It's just that maybe it's the stigma, social stigma. But some women do it on the down low. They are not as, open and vocal like the way she is. But you got to think about it. Men approach women. So if a woman is approached by 10, sometimes 100 guys online and in person, and she meets 3 seemingly good men, sometimes she's like, I don't want to miss out. It's just human nature of not wanting to miss out on something good. So what do? They date all of them. That's why you may go out on a date with a girl on a Saturday, but maybe the night before she was on a date with another dude. Maybe you are taller but no money, but the other guy is short but he makes good money. So she would date both of you. So women do it all the time. It's just not as vocal. But obviously, with social media, we see now that women actually do date multiple guys at the same time.
So, are they allowed to date other women?
My partners are able to date other people. Currently they do not. They just
They say they do not. Come on, I can't believe she's that naive.
What do you have right now?
I have 2 partners.
Oh, so girl, what you need a third one for?
Oh, I'm open to the experience. I'm just open to the experience to, finding I call it a pod. Finding my pod and building a life with those people. So whatever that looks like, I'm open to. Obviously I have maxes and all those things. So I just don't date just anybody, but I also want to build a life with these people and start moving in that direction of long term.
Long term with 3 men? I think what this is to me, she's I don't know if she's being smart about it. Maybe to her she is, but I see the strategy. To me, in my opinion, the strategy is I'm gonna have John. He's the guy with the good dick. So when I really need my back to be cracked, John will do it. Then I have this Tom right here. Tom is a good looking guy. So if I'm going to events, he's the guy I'll go with. Or he's the one who's playing stepdad because she has 6 kids. And then I have Dan. Dan is the guy with the money. He doesn't mind spoiling me, taking me on trips. When I want to go on a trip, Dan will be the guy to pay for those trips. So, because it's very hard for a woman to find everything she wants in one man. He's tall. He wants to be a stepdad. She has 6 kids. He has the money. He's charming. He has good dick. It's very hard for them to find all those things because they have long lists, right? So it's very tough for them to find all those things in one man. So what they do, they date different men, multiple men, 2, 3, 4, and then they can, find all those things in those different men. That's why they save some guys as food, they save some guys as gifts, whatever they are to them in the phone. Let's go.
Well, you could move long term with all of them individually?
Well, that's what I'm saying. We'll have to start forming a bigger idea of what that would look like at some point.
Okay. So how do you do, I don't know, your birthday? Do they all get you on your birthday?
Good question.
Well, usually my birthday, since I work a lot, I'll just whatever day. I usually do a month thing. So wherever, somebody wants to hang out, do the month, whatever, we'll pick a day or something. We'll go do something.
Okay. I'm just curious. All right. So she has 2 men. She's looking for a third. You have your own individual relationship. So what are your deal breakers?
I don't really. I'm not real tight on anything in particular, but I really don't think I would enjoy someone who is lacking motivation in any, just kind of just there. I like someone who has a vision of what they want for just even themselves, somewhere who is participating in just in life and just trying to move forward and make something happen. So if you're lacking that, not really interested. And someone's kind of too serious, but I like serious people, but who are extremely serious and no movement, that I don't like that.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
No, I'm not really tight on preference. I'm okay.
Okay. You got some paid questions. You want them?
Sure, that's okay.
Okay. Chanel said, "Damn sis, leave some men for us. I just need 1 man."
Facts. But the issue, like I said, this is a new strategy women are using. Why? Because it's hard for them to find all the delusional standards there for men in one man. So what they have resorted to doing is date multiple men. You can get the guy who's rich, the guy who's good in bed, the romantic guy. So you just call them whenever you feel like something. If you're on a day where you want a rich man to spoil you, you call the rich guy who's willing to spoil you. If you're on a day, it's Valentine's, you want a romantic guy, that's the guy you call. If there's a man who's good looking that you want to take to your family, show your dad or your parents or your friends, you call the guy who's tall, dark, and handsome. So that's the new strategy.
I understand that. Okay.
Okay. Coffee Killer said, "Do you find yourself unable to pair bond with just one man?"
Yep, she can't pair a bond with one man.
No, I don't. I have my own view on that, but no, I do not feel like there's an issue with pair bonding with the people that I'm with.
She doesn't.
Okay. Shelly the Supreme said, no, ma'am. Shorty being passed around more than a blunt in a 10-man rotation. Yuck.
Yo, they are cooking her. She's for the streets. In other words, that's what they're saying. She's for the streets.
I don't think that's really a question, but yeah, I mean, I understand the idea that if I have more than one partner, that it kind of looks a certain way, but I'm not like just moving around with a whole bunch of different random people, so it doesn't, it's not necessarily like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
True Seeker 95 said, 6 kids. I'll wait. She's at work.
She's at work. This is crazy. I don't know how these people do this at work.
Hello?
I'm sorry, that's my fault.
Okay. True Seeker 95 says 6 kids, 3 different men, poly with multiple men. I'm worried for the children.
Yep.
When does she care for them? Is sex this important?
Facts. That's a good statement, man. Because she's talking about building long-term relationships with these men. At some point, 1 or 2 of those men are going to be introduced in the lives of these kids. She has 6 kids. So in other words, she's actually dealing with 6 men. Because she has the 3 baby daddies. And now she's going to have these 3 guys that she's seeing. Right? So these kids are going to be confused. One day, John walks in. One day, daddy walks in. Daddy number 1 walks in. Second day, daddy number 2 walks in. Third day, Sam walks in. Another day, a different man walks in. A different man picks them from school. It's like they're going to be confused. But the thing is, are they, because kids watch, kids watch grown-ups. They watch adults. And what they see is what they do. It doesn't matter what you tell them to do. They're going to be watching you. So the generational curses, the generational trauma is going to keep going. So if she has daughters, in fact, if she even sons, they're going to see this and they're like, oh, it's okay. I'm also going to do the same thing like my mama did. So you will find that even the kids, when they grow up, they will have different kids from different moms for the sons. And then the daughters will also have different kids from different men. And then they will be doing the same thing. Because right now what she's doing, the kids are watching and they're learning.
Yeah, no, sex is not that important at all, actually. So, but no, I take care of my family. We do a lot of group things together, group events where your children aren't like lacking any care or love.
She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it.
LII said, me and you and a smaller chick to balance it all out. I'm rocking with it. I can be stepdad. You got to lose all the guys, though. I'm the only one.
Never.
Yes, I've heard that before. I just heard that before, so.
Okay. Divine Photo says, 6 kids, that means your kuda cutter must have been real good. Anyway, do you let the men know up front about it? And how do your kids feel about this?
Good question.
Yeah, I let my kids know up front. Everyone knows up front. There's no secret. When you get into this, you know what it is. So you participate because you want to do it. It's not a secret or a trick.
Yeah, this is what I told you. I feel for the kids because kids shouldn't be introduced to this kind of lifestyle. Kids shouldn't even know that you're dating multiple men as a mom. Like, don't put your trauma onto the kids. I don't even know how the baby daddies are even letting this happen, introducing their kids to different men. I mean, which obviously the baby daddies are not smart enough, especially the third one who came after the first 2 guys. So at the end of the day, the kids get to suffer in all this. So I feel bad for the kids.
Okay. I asked you if the guy has to look a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Should he make a certain amount of money?
Probably not.
No, not necessarily. No, I don't mind it because unless we're living together, then that's a discussion we'll have to have later. But what you're doing with your life right now, that's okay.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay.
She's probably thick. She knows the bad-looking lady. I knew she was thick.
I think I have to
Back up a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna move the chair. Sorry. There we go.
Okay.
All right. For those of you guys who like
girl.
thick.
We got you, Miss Polly.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my pen's not working. I gotta get a pen after this.
Okay.
When was your, well, shoot, I was about to say, when was your last relationship you in?
I mean, for those of you guys who like thick women, 6 kids, 3 men, seeing other 2 guys, you guys are into the party lifestyle, this may be your girl. You know, because to some of you, it's going to look like easy chicks to clap anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But shout out to her, man. I feel bad for the kids, the trauma they're going to pick up, and then the generational trauma, you know. I mean, oh my God, this is bad. All right, shout out to Kendra, man. I'll put the link down below. All right, next up, this lady is saying, she's saying something that I don't really want to say on YouTube, but it's bad. That's what I'm gonna say. Let's go.
I bet you right now it's a girl that's trying to think if she wants to keep that baby or not. Don't have that motherfucking baby. I wouldn't wish a baby daddy on my worst enemy.
All right, replay.
Okay?
Let me replay it.
Get rid of that. I bet you right now it's a girl that's trying to think if she wants to keep that baby or not. But I'm here to tell you, my sister, don't have that motherfucking baby. I wouldn't wish a baby daddy on my worst enemy. Okay? Get rid of that baby right motherfucking now. If you don't, you're gonna regret it. You got your friends around telling you, girl had a baby, I'm gonna be the godmama, I'm gonna be the auntie. The friends ain't gonna be around, baby. You're out of there. You ain't gonna have no friends, no fun, and no funds. Go to that clinic right now. That man don't deserve no baby out of you. He ain't gonna marry you. He ain't gonna change once that baby come out of you. He's gonna do you the fuck in. Do you hear me?
I mean, I kind of agree with her. If you guys are not getting married, if you're not married, why are you having the baby? Because that's going to be another broken household. To some extent, I don't agree with how she's conveying the message. You know, but I'm just saying, like, if we had this mindset in the community, the rate of broken households would be down, if we're going to be honest. You know, so I kind of agree with the message. Marry before you carry.
Hey, he's gonna do you in. So if you're sitting there thinking, do I really want to have this nigga baby? If that's even a fucking thought in your mind, it's already over with. Okay? Whenever you gotta sit and think about some shit, don't you think that ain't a good decision, huh? Come on now. Like, I don't think that y'all understand that one bad decision can ruin your whole shit. Okay?
Yeah, but I mean, that's something they should have thought about before even they got pregnant. You know, because that means one thing led to another. That means they had sex. I don't know, relationship or not. Because if we're going to be honest, some ladies keep the babies to use the babies against the man. It's like, oh, so you don't want to be with me? I'm going to be pregnant. I'm going to keep the baby. And then I'm going to use it against you for child support. I'm going to use the baby to control you. Because women know that happens in child support court or in family court. They can use the baby against the man. You know, so I kind of agree. I don't like how she's making it seem like it's something wrong with having a child with a man. But I agree with the fact that if more people thought about just bringing a kid in the world when there is no commitment from both people don't want the baby. Because if we're going to be honest, if we can be honest, guys, if we can be 100% honest, in my opinion, 80% of the babies, men don't want them. In fact, even the woman doesn't want the baby because they're not married, they're not in a relationship, but things happen and they just keep the baby. They didn't plan on it. Let me just say that. It's not like they didn't want the baby, but they didn't plan to have the baby when they did. Maybe they don't have enough money. It was a one night stand, and then when they have the baby gets to suffer because the baby grows up in a broken household.
Okay, ruin your whole life, all because you sitting up listening to Pookie and them. Because Pookie got 5 baby daddies, 10 kids. You want to be like Pookie.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be a baby mama so fucking bad. That's not gonna ever get you no motherfucking where but drug to the pits of hell.
Mm.
So, go have that baby if you want. And your life is forever gonna be fucking ruined. I bet you right now.
I agree with the man. It's a good message. Not put the right way, but I agree. If more women spoke up, because what we see on social media most of the times is other women praising single moms. It's other women. Like I've seen like thousands of baby showers on social media, but the man is never on the baby shower. You know, the man is never there. So which tells you it's gonna be another broken household. But she's telling the ladies stop having babies with men you're not married to. I agree. I thought I was gonna disagree. I watched a little bit of it, but I definitely agree. All right, next. This woman is wondering why white women get all the rich black men. Let's go.
This message is for my white women, my snow bunnies. What are y'all doing to get these men to marry y'all? And y'all getting these millionaires and then y'all suing them and becoming multi-millionaires. Like, help me out. I ain't no hater. I'm a congratulator. Help me. How are y'all getting these men to marry y'all? Because I don't have no kids. I'm fit. I'm cute as a button. I'm submissive. I cooperate. I'm not mouthy. I'm supportive.
I disagree. You know why? Because if you are all those things that you're mentioning, a black man would have swept you off your feet a long time ago. But let me even grant it. Let's say you're submissive, you're sweet, you're all these things. Let me guess. He's got to have a certain amount of money before he talks to you. Because the white ladies you're complaining about, usually they don't wait for the guys to get the money. So we're talking high school. They come up with those guys. So once the guy makes the money, it's already a done deal. She was there with him when he was still broke. But most of you want a black man to come making 6 figures already out of the door. If he makes 50,000, he's not good enough for you because he's not going to pay for your trips to Mexico. He's not going to take you to an expensive dinner date. So yeah, you may be submissive, you may be sweet, you're good looking, you're in shape, I can see. But what's your attitude when you're around that man? You want him to make all this money before he talks to you. But the white lady is just going to be like, okay, he's a nice guy, he has potential, and then before you know it, you only know about the story when he gets the money and they're married.
I'm not the type of woman that, you got to take me to the 5-star restaurant.
I don't believe you.
Got to make 6 figures. I'm good with what, 70,000. I mean, I go to the gym.
See, 70,000 is even above the average, which is 50,000, 45,000. So even then, she's still looking for an above average man. And the reason I don't believe her, because if you talk to all the guys who have tried to talk to her, all the guys she friend zones, she will tell you why. Because she's a good looking woman, so I can guarantee you, average men, above average men, and rich guys have been in her DMs. And I can guarantee you, if they were to tell us exactly how she treated them, some of them are still in the friend zone. Some of them were rejected because they're not making good enough money. So, but she's only in the internet trying to lie.
I cook, I clean, I let them touch my nasty parts. I mean, what are y'all doing? Y'all need a class to help me. I'm not afraid to say I need some help, white women.
Yeah, you do.
I'm not afraid to say. What are y'all doing? Because y'all getting these men to marry y'all. And y'all are being married. Y'all don't got that many baby daddies. Okay, cool. Help me. DM me. DM.
It's simple. Some of them, not all, but some of them are taught in their households. They grow up seeing a mom and dad. Their parents tell them to look for a husband. Y'all are told to go to college to be strong, independent women that don't need men. And then you bring that same attitude. And then you say, if a man has no degree like me, he's not good enough. If a man doesn't make $100,000, he's not good enough. Even when you say it's 70,000, you know you wanted to say 6 figures. You just, wanted to act like you're different. But if you were not taught, if you didn't grow up seeing that in your household, that a man is important, if that wasn't your priority for you to get married or to get a man, you're never going to get it. So I'm glad she's asking for help, but the issues maybe started from home.
Me, fellas, DM me and let me know what else can I do to find my husband. Because, I don't know what else that I can do.
You got to be a wife first.
Like, I make him lunch. What?
It's probably the attitude.
Cook like 4 times a week.
But what's your attitude
Give up
like?
my nasty part. I wear lingerie.
That's not
I
enough.
don't have a problem with getting them. I'm just having a problem with them not wanting to get married.
It's the attitude. You got to be a wife. That's something they don't get. You look good. You talk a good game, but what's your attitude? That's why I said we would need to line up all the men, the black men you have dated, and they would have to tell us exactly how you treat them when no one is watching. Because on social media, you are talking a good game. But I can guarantee you, if we talk to them man to man, they will tell us, man, she's a headache. She doesn't listen to me. She curses me out, things like that. So, again, if you are not taught how to be a wife, it's going to be tough. And even that goes for men, because I know you want me to be fair. Even that goes for men. If a man wasn't taught to be a husband, providing is not enough, if we're going to be honest. Anyway, man, shout out to you guys. Link down below to all the videos. Till next time, peace.